talk. We've got a great live show for you tonight. But first, while people are still signing in, I want to give you a few updates on my special drink reveal challenge. As our frequent viewers are aware, I am trying to get a major drink company to pay me big bucks to go on the Super Bowl at halftime to disclose what my favorite beverage is. I have been comparing it to other beverages each week, but alas, nobody has toppled my favorite beverage. There have been no seven-figure proposals to date, but I did have an offer, and it was a major drink company. It was a one-figure deal. All I have to do is not reveal as one of their beverages as my favorite, and the money is mine. It is very tempting, and I'm having people peruse the contract right now, but I think I'm still going to go for that seven-figure deal. So tonight I am trying YoYo Time, and we'll see what that tastes like. I understand it is harvested from moisture and protein that collects in between yoga mats if they are stacked in a room with a humidity of 85% or more. How they collect this material, I don't care and I don't know. All I want to know is this better than my current beverage? So here we go. Is it coming out my nose, Sean? No, good. Okay, that reminds me of Goop, which you put in the thing makers from the 60s. I don't know if you guys have done that or not, but I don't remember Goop tasting like strawberry. So anyway, enough about that. As I mentioned, we have a great show planned for tonight and two very special guests, Ken and Ricky Russells, the owners of the Russell Yo-Yo Company, which their dad started back in 1947. If you are not familiar with Russell Yo-Yos, then you have been living under a shell in Tuvalu, which I might add is the only country that there hasn't been a Coca-Cola Russell campaign. Russell Yo-Yos may be the most sold yo-yo in the world, with 500 million of them having been put out since 1947. And these guys are going to tell us their experiences growing up with a father that is in the Yo-Yo Hall of Fame and what it was like being a yo-yo professional as teenagers, plus more dark secrets. So start compiling your questions now for the Russell brothers and start posting them in the comment section, as they're going to be coming on live in a few minutes. Right now they're hanging out in the green room. But before I show you what's in our grand prize package for this evening's pop quiz, let me do a little housekeeping from last week. Our winner ended up being John Gates. That's for the lightning round. And let's see. And Jason Katz, I believe, was the winner of the final grand prize round. And we had a couple of Simcoes. I don't think they were the Simcoe winners, but they were the official winners. John answered the question correctly for the lightning round. What was Jennifer Baybrooks' boost yo-yo that got her going in two-handed AA play? And the answer was, very appropriately for tonight's show anyway, the Russell yo-yo. And I think our guest, Ricky and Ken Russell, will agree that that is an excellent answer. And for our pop quiz, Jason Katz answered correctly the two questions. What year were the Zombie Cause yo-yos released? That was 2012. And much love to Pappy 5X of the Zombie Cause, who is in the hospital tonight getting his a little tune-up done. So good luck with Pappy 5X on that. At least the hospital will be safe from zombies tonight. The second question was, who did the yo-yo tricks for Owen Wilson in the movie Zoolander? And the answer was none other than the magnificent Steve Brown. So there you have it. Okay, Sean, let's roll that prize package video and let's show what everybody is going to be playing for later in the show.
Here's our prize package for tonight. We got some good stuff here. We've got a copy of The Immune, also a copy of Lucky's Collector's Guide to 20th Century Yo-Yos, History and Values. The Nickinator has so many of those that I understand he's using them as firewood, and there is a special place in hell for people that do that, just so you know, Nickinator. Here we have a Pee Wee Herman yo-yo, famous for Pee Wee's Playhouse. Pee Wee is infamous for playing with his yo-yo in an adult theater, and that's a metaphor, just to be clear. It is a cross collectible because there are very strange people that like collecting politically incorrect memorabilia. Normally you can pick these up in the $10 to $20 range, but I've seen them go off as auction as high as 28 bucks. It is a Spectra Star from 1988. And speaking of Spectra Stars yo-yos, here is a Nightmare Before Christmas yo-yo. This is one of my favorite Spectra Stars. It's one of the few glow yo-yos. It is of barrel. I think we've had one of these before in the prize package. They typically go in the $15 to $20 range, but it is highly cross collectible, and I think this yo-yo will continue to go up in value with time. And right next to it, we have a yo-yo clip, which is guaranteed to prevent you from getting dates if you wear this. I gave one to Sean a few weeks ago, and it has been working quite well, so I am told. Here we have a early Duncan butterfly yo-yo. This is one of the early, well, it is the earliest release of Once Flambeau Took Over. Not the first card, but the second card. I've seen these go off as high as $45 on eBay. I think you can usually get them for a little bit less than that, but mint in package like this, it's a nice find. Here is a Star Wars droid yo-yo. I think it's called a Destroyer droid. It's from 1999, so this is over 20 years old. And if you saw on the price tag there, the original price was $9.99. Well, here's the interesting thing. You can still go online and buy these out of stores for just about that price. But interestingly enough, I have seen them at auction go for $15 or $20, so go figure. Now down here to the left, we have a Diamond Duncan Professional. Those were first released in 1974. They made them through the mid-80s. I've seen these go for as high as $45 each loose on eBay as well. Usually you can get them for a little cheaper. And here is one of my favorite items. It's not a yo-yo, it is a whizzer. Probably the only good thing that happened in 1969 was the release of the whizzer top. These, in package anyway, I've seen go for 40 or 50 bucks. I don't know what they go for loose, but anyway, we're including that in our prize package as well. So let's take a look and see what the value of our prize package is for tonight. Wow! $232. That's great. This is what's going to be available to our winner of our pop quiz later in the show. Good luck to everyone.
Okay, some good collectible stuff there, I would say. A few shout outs. I see Tim Simcoe signed in there, Joe Mitchell, Rick Rentz apparently bought a copy of, there actually is a book about me out there called, what is it? Oh, Lucky Is As Lucky Does. And he bought a copy of it. So thank you, Rick, for, I don't get any money from it, but the author, I guess, does. So anyway, I picked up a trade from Dano last week. I highlighted this yo-yo on the show a couple months ago, I think. I refer to it as a heavy glitter Imperial. It was made to have the appearance of those high gloss glitter bass boats that, if you've seen the real high-end bass boats, they have this kind of glitter, high gloss paint job. And it's very cool looking, and I'm sure this is going to be a very highly collectible yo-yo in the future. Right now, we know of only 2 that exist, so thanks for the trade, Dano. Now, let me give you an update where we are on our nominations for the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame for 2020. Count them. 1, 2. Yeah, count them again. 1, 2. That's how many nominations we have for the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame for 2020. Now, to say that number is a wee bit disappointing is an understatement. I know what you all are thinking. Well, that's 2 more than all the passenger pigeons in the world, but I do not want to see the yo-yo go the way of passenger pigeons. So come on, guys. We can do better than that. So maybe the problem is in the nomination process, which I created a form which I thought was very simple to fill out because it only takes about 7 minutes. But in this crazy high-tech world, that may have been too long, so we're going to change everything up. All I want you to do is put your name and your email and the name of the person you're nominating and send it in. It's that simple. I can think of dozens of people that are worthy of being in the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame, including the people that have already been nominated, of course, but everybody needs to get involved, so take 5 seconds of time. And Sean, I think, we got the link up? Do we have that link up, Sean? Okay, it's going to be up right after the show. So right after the show, put in a nomination. You only get one to nominate one person, so put yours in. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get lawyers involved, and you know how they will screw everything up. So get on it. So tonight, our 2 guests are Ricky and Ken Russell of the Russell Yo-Yo Company, and I'm going to speak a little bit about the Russell Yo-Yo Company and collecting Russell Yo-Yos before we get to our lightning round. And we've got some really good stuff for that, which I'll get to in just a second. A little background. First, Jack Russell, the founder of the Russell Yo-Yo Company, got his start at the Duncan Yo-Yo Company as a demonstrator in the 40s, and in the I think it was the late 50s, the Duncan Yo-Yo Company formed a division which we called DRI, which was an acronym for Duncan, Russell, and Ives. And Tom Ives was Duncan's brother-in-law, and he died unexpectedly, so Duncan decided to pull their foreign operations, and Jack Russell purchased the DRI from Duncan, and that was the beginning of a giant empire which spread all over the entire world. And in many parts of the world, Coca-Cola, Russell are almost synonymous with the word yo-yo. There are many collectors in other countries where when they say they're a yo-yo collector, what they really mean is that they are a Russell yo-yo collector, because that's all they collect. But and there's a collector's book out there on collecting Russell's yo-yos, and some of these yo-yos can sell in the thousands of dollars, and many sell in the hundreds of dollars, which I'm sure makes our guest on the show wish they had kept more of their yo-yos when they were kids. Now, the vast majority of the Russell yo-yos were plastic molded yo-yos, and the vast majority of the yo-yos were through Coca-Cola promotions. But as I mentioned earlier, they have estimated nearly 500 million Russell yo-yos have been sold. There's a couple of Russell yo-yos. Those happen to all be signed by Jack Russell, by the way. So that's pretty rare to have Russell yo-yos signed by Jack Russell. And Jack Russell is in the Hall of Fame, and Ricky and Ken cut their teeth promoting yo-yos when they were teenagers and have been to so many countries, I think they probably can't remember all the ones they visited. Sean, show that video of my Russell yo-yo case real quick. I just want to show people the volume, and this is just a small number of different Russell yo-yos that are out there. There are many more collectors than me that are really passionate about collecting. I think my favorite of the Russell yo-yos are the Satellite series they made in the early 60s. Can you show that clip there, Sean? There they are. Yeah, check those babies out. I think those are really cool and really rare. That's the only complete set I've ever seen. So anyway, Russell also had a bunch of different string packs. Most of them were plastic. Some of the earlier ones were the glassine envelopes, and those are really collectible too. A lot of them have some pretty cool graphics on them. So, okay, so let's jump into our lightning round trivia question. But before I show you the trivia question, let's look at what we are playing for tonight. Sean? Okay. We got one-of-a-kind items here. This should make any Russell yo-yo collector salivate. I should give you a second to go get a pan to hold under your chin to collect all the excess saliva running out. But look at these two yo-yos. These are unique and they are very rare, and most people don't have them in their collection. And as a bonus, they've both been signed by Ken Russell, which I guess makes them kind of impossible to find, except on Yo-Yo Talk. So you can't buy them. You can only earn them by winning this trivia contest. That one that was a blank was a training blank. When they were training new demonstrators, they used those blank Russell yo-yos. And obviously Ken has signed one of those. And then there is a Russell business card yo-yo. They used to use those in place of the paper business cards, which makes a lot of sense. And Ken has signed that one too. But wait, there is more. Many of you do not know, but this is a very important day in history of the world because this is the day the Nickinator, who I might say has been very dry in his winnings for the last 2 or 3 weeks, was born on this day. So we are including this happy birthday yo-yo in this round to hopefully stimulate the Nickinator to get back on the winning path, or it may be just a total irritation to him seeing somebody else win this yo-yo on his birthday. So that's all up for grabs in our lightning round. Just a reminder, the first person to answer the question correctly will be our tentative winner. That would be our Simcoe. We will not find out the actual winner or the official winner until the time code is looked at the end of the show, and we will announce it when the show is over. Good luck to everyone, including the Nickinator, and happy birthday. Okay, Sean, let's roll that trivia question for tonight. Here it is. The Russell Yo-Yo Company was kicked out of a country before it could run its yo-yo campaign. Thousands of yo-yos are still stored in a warehouse there. Which country is it? And yes, I got this question straight from the Russells. They know the answer, and when we get the right answer in, we'll hear a little story about that because that's a very interesting story. So the Russell Yo-Yo Company was kicked out of the country before it could do its yo-yo campaign. Thousands of yo-yos are still squirreled away in a warehouse there. Which country is it? And there are only so many countries. I'm not sure. There's only about 180. So if you just start typing them in. Oh, you got one?
No, we don't have one. But the audacity of some people to comment a year is insane.
They want to know a year?
No, they commented a year. The audacity they have.
Yeah, year. Okay, no, this is actually the name of the country. If you get the year as well, that's a bonus, I guess. But you got to give us the name of a country. Have we got any close answers yet? Any even in the right hemisphere yet? What's coming in, Sean?
You're gonna have to give me a second. There's too many coming in.
They're coming in fast. But no answer's correct yet. Let me give you a date to speed it up. The date was 1959. So what country would that be? That should help. Who might the USA have been in a pissing contest with in 1959 that might actually kick a good person out that was just trying to get yo-yos into the hands of deserving young children? What person would do that? I'm giving you even kind of a more hint there. I'm still not seeing the right answers coming in. Where are we at here, Sean? Still nothing?
Oh, we got one. We got one.
We got a tentative winner. We got our Simcoe. Who is our Simcoe for tonight?
Our Simcoe for the night is Rick Rents. And honestly, it's probably from reading that glorious book about you, if I might say myself.
Well, I actually don't think it has anything to do with reading the book about me, but he apparently did answer correctly. And I'm going to actually go right now to the Russell brothers, and they will tell us what that correct answer is. Hey, we got Ricky and Ken on. Hey, guys.
Hold on.
Oh, what, are we? We're still bringing them. Okay, there they are. There they are.
Hey.
Okay, great. So tell us, what was the correct answer on that one?
The
Hey,
correct
Lucky.
answer
So
for
in
that one-
1959, go ahead, Ricky, tell the story.
Yeah,
The
it was
correct
Cuba.
answer-
Cuba.
It was Cuba.
Yes. So tell us that story. It's pretty interesting.
So we had signed up the promotion. Everything was set to go, and this little thing that happened over there during the time ended up having to force everyone off the island. We had cars. We had everything lit. You know, the yo-yos were there. The point of sales were ready, and they just had to quickly leave the island for obvious reasons.
So the cars are still there too.
Oh yeah. There's
So
a
there
classic
could be
Cadillac
a
somewhere.
Jack Russell car running around as a taxi somewhere because they kept those cars forever.
They did. Hmm.
More importantly, somewhere outside of Havana, there is a warehouse full of old Russell Coca-Cola yo-yos that are in mint condition.
There you go. Now that is the a find of all find for collectors there. So that's now you guys actually started demonstrating as teenagers, and you went all over the world, and you I don't know how many Russell demonstrators there have been over time, but it's got to be scores and scores of them, right?
Hundreds.
Yep.
Hundreds. Oh, and would you say? I mean, obviously you had a lot of contact with them. Do you if you had a little reunion of Russell yo-yo collectors, would you know most of these guys and gals?
We would. Yeah.
Cool.
We just
actually
had one recently.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And how far
And
away
there were,
did they come?
there were dozens on there. Yeah.
How far away
they
did
were
they
from,
come?
from countries all over the world. They were from countries all over the world. We did it on Zoom. It was organized by one of our managers from Colombia. And it was really heartwarming. People I hadn't seen in 20 years that were kids that had played in the street who left like joining the circus to join the Russell Yo-Yo team and travel the world and adventure. And it really changed people's lives. People that didn't have a lot of opportunity got to travel and learn culture and languages. And some came into the company and became managers and salesmen and created careers out of it. It was so good to see so many of them because they were mentors to Ricky and I when we were little.
That's true. And friends.
That
Still keep in touch with a few.
that is really neat. Now, do a lot of these people that were the demonstrators, did a lot of them end up collecting Russell yo-yos, or?
Many of them. Some of them still do. They still show
That's
off
cool.
their Russell collection when we talk to them.
Yeah,
they have the unique ability
the
to be-
diversity of your players too. I mean, it's really an incredibly diverse group of folks that were demonstrators for you guys. And there were a lot of women too, which I mean, look, in the United States, it's like a zillion guys play the yo-yo, and you just don't have that many female demonstrators. And you would always see in some of these old films and stuff, women demonstrating the Russell yo-yo. Did you find that the girls would pick up the yo-yo too, or was it more like the U.S. where it's just kind of a
It wasn't
guy
as,
thing?
as common. It wasn't as common, but we did have a lot of female demonstrators. A lot from the Philippines, South America, Asia, all over the place, and they're really, really good players too.
Now,
It was
you
Mom
had
who taught
mentioned-
me how to play.
That's true. Yeah.
Wow. So you had mentioned to me that like Indonesia was one of the maybe less desirable countries. Why was that?
So as a yo-yo player, and Ricky and I were always in different countries because we used to fight a lot when we were teenagers. So we'd go on tour in different countries at different times. I think Ricky might have been in Spain while I was in Indonesia.
That's true.
I was there right when the Gulf War broke out in it must have been 91.
Wow.
Gosh, it must have been. But the difficult part in Indonesia, the heat and the humidity was so great that you couldn't play the yo-yo appropriately. The string tricks just wouldn't work, the stick. And when you used wax, it actually made it worse. So we would use talcum powder, and we would talcum powder our strings and our hands, and it would help you with technique and the sweat.
So when your dad got mad at you, instead of saying, you go to this room and you go, he says, you go to Indonesia and you go to Spain.
You go to that country and you go to that country. But the beauty of it is we learned languages like that. I don't know what Ricky knows how to say from Spanish, but I know how to say jalan jalan boranjing, which means walk the dog in Indonesian.
Pasen del perito.
What's that, Sean? Oh, okay. So yeah, so tell me a little bit of, just give me a little early ancient history of your dad. And I know I covered a little bit of it, but he was a pretty incredible guy.
He started yo-yo really, really young.
When he was in high school, the early Duncan players would come around, and he was in Kentucky, just south of Cincinnati,
Oh, really?
in Covington. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. And so he went to high school there, and
In Covington?
you know, the Duncan yo-yo demonstrators came around. Yep. And
How
he
about
got
that?
hooked, and he got a job at the local Woolworths playing yo-yo in front of the yo-yo stand just to sell for the local marketplace. And at that time, the only professional players were the Filipino demonstrators from Duncan.
I'm going to just
And
interrupt that
one of the-
yo-yo Sean showing there, the B-roll of, that is a very rare wooden yo-yo of your dad. It's actually signed by your dad, but that would be probably one of the earliest of the Russell yo-yos. Anyway, go on. Please keep
Yep.
on with your story.
Yeah, and so he was discovered there by a Duncan manager, and he was still in high school. And the guy said, "Here's my business card. When you graduate high school, give me a call." Dad graduated high school 1938 and a half.
Wow.
And the high school yearbook prophecy was that Jack Russell will sell yo-yos back to the Filipinos. And so he did call the guy. He got a bus ticket to San Antonio. The guy paid him back, and he was the first non-Filipino demonstrator on the Duncan demonstration team.
Wow. Well, yeah, you know that makes sense. Actually, that makes sense. There was a guy named Jerry Shrunk, though, believe it or not, but he actually demonstrated with Pedro Flores. So I don't know if he made the transition to Duncan or not. But anyway, that is a very cool, very cool. So what was your all's biggest campaign when you guys were doing the Russell yo-yo thing?
The largest campaign that we ran, Ken actually worked. That was the Brazilian campaign, and that was a lot of units.
And about how many yo-yos do you think were sold? I think you said that went on. Told me that went on for about 6 months.
Yeah, well over 100 yo-yo champions on the ground, each with a car, translator if necessary, factory and country, and probably in that 1 year promotion, about 10 million yo-yos sold.
Wow, that's a lot of yo-yos. So, and what percent of all your campaigns would you say it was a Coca-Cola promotion? Because obviously, when we think Russell, most people think Coca-Cola.
Probably a good 98%, I would say. We did
I'd agree.
programs that we did under the Russell name. We've done, never anything competitive to the Coca-Cola brand. That's something that my dad kind of prided himself on.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Can you think of anything we did? I mean, he did toothpaste stuff back in like the early 40s and 50s.
In the 60s.
Was that in the United States or was that in?
No, that was
in South
Peru.
America.
Oh,
In Peru, they did Colinos toothpaste.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. Yes.
So when I came into the out of the demonstration side and into the sales side, I wanted to expand the client base, and so my first client was M&M Mars in 1997. I sold 300,000 Skittles and Starburst yo-yos in Ireland, and in Ireland they don't use the Starburst brand; they're called Opal Fruits. So if you find Skittles and Opal Fruits, those are one of the first non-Coke yo-yos that we sold. And then we worked with Adidas, Twix, Snickers, a few other brands like that.
Now, tell me the cannibal story.
This is a story my dad used to tell us. It was basically, he would set it up where he was going to an island somewhere. Gosh, you remember what the country was, Ken?
Papua New Guinea, I'm sure.
I think so, but they were warned at the time that there was going to be some sort of a problem with the locals, and they found out very quickly that the locals were actually cannibals, and they came with a party to meet them, and it was one of those deals where they had to leave the country yet again. So if you had said Papua New Guinea, you probably would have won a prize, maybe.
All right. Well, Ken, now you've done some really cool videos. Last week we saw one that you did with Jennifer Baybrook, but I absolutely love the one you did with the background music of Fatboy Slim. I'm a big fan of Fatboy Slim. Here's some of that yo-yo. Hopefully they won't tap us on the music in the background for a copyright violation. But I think this is just a short clip from that film. You said that was part of a juggling video contest, though, right?
Correct.
The
Fatboy
brothers
Slim
meet.
was, yeah. So Fatboy Slim was running a juggling contest for his music video, and when I wanted to enter, I wrote to him directly, and I said, "Do yo-yos count?" And he said, "No, but do something to this song." And so Ricky actually came down and shot and edited the music video. And here he is in it, and we're about to play two hands against each other on this bridge walk flyover, and yeah, so Fatboy actually commissioned this music video from us directly.
Yeah, I saw there were well over 100,000 views on that. That's pretty cool.
Fun.
Okay, so I have to mention there are a number of collectible presidential yo-yos out there, and Ken, you're officially a politician, so I think the yo-yo could be your path to the presidency in the future. Would you agree with that?
You know, I have never made, in my 3 runs for office, I've never made a vote for Ken yo-yo, so that does not yet exist. But I have, politically, I've been called a yo-yo many times, so that qualifies for sure.
I'm sure you've been called worse things, as most politicians have been on both sides. So those are... that is a very good campaign strategy, I must say. So what's your guys' favorite collectible yo-yo? Ken, why don't you? Well, either one of you. Ricky, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Probably the most coveted collectible Russell yo-yo out there would probably be the Coca-Cola Executive from Australia. It's one of those that...
I think we got a picture of that, Sean. Can you throw that one up?
Which one?
The Executive yo-yo. There it is. There.
We didn't make very many of them, and they were given out strictly
granddaddy
to
of all Russells.
Coca-Cola people.
That's
and
a nice
they
one.
they only gave those to like the heads of bottling plants. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
So that's why they're so rare. And that is a major. And for those that are not yo-yo collectors, a major is a yo-yo that is sold at auction for $1,000 or more, and it's one that has been mass produced, which this was, but it was a mass produced limited run. So what about you, Ken? What's your favorite?
I mean, people, there are some amazing collectors out there, but people don't really realize how collectible the Russell yo-yo truly is. Because there's 500 million of them out there, people think, oh, it's pretty common. But the thing is, we were so secretive about where we were running campaigns, and we would go there for a 8-week period, sell a few 100,000, maybe a few million yo-yos in that short period of time, and then disappear and go on to the next country. But each country's yo-yos were unique. So unless you knew where all those countries were in what years, it would be very hard to collect and find where each of these yo-yos are. And it's a tremendous thing to collect if you can find that record of where all the countries were. My favorite collectibles that I believe are incredibly super rare have never been sold. And there's only 100, it's 2 yo-yos and only 144 of each of them were made. So in June 5th, 1999, I was married. And I don't know if you can see this here, but Ricky designed this yo-yo for my wedding. And it was only given to those who came to the wedding. And obviously never sold. And so that one's special. But even rarer than that, 6 years later, I got divorced. It was a very amicable divorce. Good. Love my ex-wife, love my son that came from that marriage. But the divorce attorney who handled our mediation was so good, I made him a business card yo-yo that says, "Don't wind up in court. Melvin Rubin, certified mediator." So I have a wedding yo-yo and a divorce yo-yo, and those are my two rarest pieces in my collection.
Okay, that's a new one for the books. Okay, the wedding yo-yos, there are those ones out there. The divorce yo-yo,
I can't top that.
That's a new one.
I can't top
that is
that.
a new one.
I remember that.
You should have probably kept that a secret, because I'm sure all the other yo-yo companies are going to start wanting to jump right on top of that. So
Sean's dying.
and we know that is going to continue to be a very popular thing in the future. So anyway, so I guess I don't have to ask you guys, what's your favorite throw?
My
Pocket
favorite
tricks.
throw?
Yeah.
I like string tricks.
I'm crying.
Okay.
I laughed too hard. I'm crying.
Hey, y'all never made any kind of ball bearing transaxle yo-yo, did you?
Oh, we did.
We did.
Oh, which one is that?
So right around 98, after I had some experience with THP,
Right.
we started working with them in tandem as well as Yomega, and that
Okay.
became the Yo-Yo Mafia. It was the
Right.
the Russell yo-yos as the step one, and then the Yomega yo-yos and others as the step two. And we also, on our own, started to dabble in some of the. We never did a clutch yo-yo, but we did a ball bearing yo-yo. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'm sure I probably have one of those, and I just didn't realize that you had a ball bearing one out there. So anyway, hey guys, hey, thanks for coming on the show. We really needed a couple more hours, I think, with you guys. This was fun. We got to have you back to hear more stories. This is really
Bring us
great.
back separately so we can talk trash about each other.
That would be
yeah,
even
that'd be
better.
fun.
Yes. We'll send one to Africa and the other one to Iceland. So anyway, all right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you being on. It's that time, folks, for our pop quiz. You've already seen the prize package you're playing for. Just a reminder, the first person to answer both questions in the same comment section is our tentative winner, or our Simcoe. You will not be our official winner until we check the time code at the end of the show. Sean, let's go on and run that pop quiz and see who's on top tonight.
Doc Lucky's Pop Quiz. One shot, one
You
champion.
guys did great.
First to answer both questions in the Facebook comments wins. Get ready.
Which weighs more, a pound of Gorham Sterling Silver yo-yos or a pound of Russell Special Spin yo-yos? And part two of the question, who was the founder of the Bandolore Company? The first one may require a little bit of math and calculation. The second one, you either know it or you don't, I think. So, which weighs more? A pound of Gorham Sterling Silver yo-yos or a pound of Russell Special Spin yo-yos? That is part one. You must answer both questions in the same comment section correctly. Part two is, who was the founder of the Bandolore Company? That is a very exciting yo-yo. Check it out right there. Very few of those are around in that condition, and that baby will probably set you back anywhere from $500 to $1,000 if
Lucky
you.
we have one.
Oh, we got a winner already. Okay,
Our
who is our?
Simcoe is the Simcoe.
Oh, our Simcoe is the Simcoe. So that means that he's probably not the the official winner, but but we'll find out at the end of the show if Tim Simcoe ends up being our truly official winner or if he's just been Simcoe'd again. So we'll let you know after the end of the show. Good luck, Tim. Okay, that's about it for this evening. I just want to remind everybody to send in those nominations for the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. All you have to do is put your name and email address and the name of person that you're nominating. It's that simple. Sean will have the little link up there to do that right after the show is over. I would like to have a bunch of these in by next week so I can report back to you guys. Now, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. That's doc_luckies_yoyo_talk. We post a very cool yo-yo every day just to make your day a little bit brighter. And don't forget to follow our Facebook page, Doc Lucky's Yo-Yo Talk. And if you are a worthy individual, I would really like you guys to join the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts. That is going to be our voting pool for the National Yo-Yoing Hall of Fame, unless, of course, we get stuck with only 2 nominations, as we are right now, and then it will be a moot point. But that would be pathetic, and the yo-yoing community is not pathetic, so I am sure we are going to see those nominations coming in all week. Big thanks to the Russell brothers for making an appearance here. Those were some really great stories, and happy birthday to the Nickinator, the yo-yo trivia master that we all love to hate, but only when he wins. So next week, we do not have a guest because we have been having people request another Ask Doc Lucky Anything episode. So that's what you're getting, along with some great trivia questions and collectible prizes. So this is Doc Lucky reminding you, you can never have too many yo-yos, and I will see y'all next week.